I was the president of Kaggle, a community of over 200,000 machine learning practitioners. Kaggle puts up competitions to try and get them to solve previously unsolved problems, and has been successful hundreds of times. Deep learning is an algorithm inspired by how the human brain works, and as a result, it's an algorithm which has no theoretical limitations on what it can do. The more data you give it and the more computation time you give it, the better it gets. Perhaps the first big success of machine learning commercially was Google. Google showed that it is possible to find information by using a computer algorithm, and this algorithm is based on machine learning. Since that time, there has been many commercial successes of machine learning. Companies like Amazon and Netflix use machine learning to suggest products that you might like to buy, movies that you might like to watch. Sometimes it's almost creepy. Companies like LinkedIn and Facebook sometimes will tell you about who your friends might be, and you have no idea how it did it. And this is because it's using the power of machine learning. These are algorithms that have learned how to do this from data rather than being programmed by hand. By 2011, we had the first example of computers that can see better than people. In 2012, Google announced that they had a deep learning algorithm watch YouTube videos and crunch the data on 16,000 computers for a month. And the computer independently learned about concepts such as people and cats just by watching the videos. Google announced last year that they had mapped every single location in France in 2 hours. And the way they did it was that they fed street view images into a deep learning algorithm to recognize and read street numbers.
Έχω βγάλει αυτή τη φωτογραφία, στην οποία έχει λίγες λεπτομέρειες για να μπορέσει κάποιος να καταλάβει πού βρίσκομαι. Είναι αρκετά δύσκολη φωτογραφία και για να το κάνω ακόμα πιο δύσκολο, αφαίρεσα τα μεταδεδομένα της περιγραφίας, τα οποία στις περισσότερες περιπτώσεις υπάρχουν και θα το κάναν πάρα πολύ εύκολο για το ChatGPT να μας πει πού τραβήχθηκε μια φωτογραφία. Οπότε, έχοντας αυτή τη φωτογραφία, πάμε, την ανεβάζουμε τη φωτογραφία και το ρωτάμε. Σε παρακαλώ, πες μου πού βρίσκομαι στη συγκεκριμένη φωτογραφία και θέλω να μου δώσεις και το πιθανό γεωγραφικό μήκος και πλάτος. Θέλω να κάνεις μια λεπτομερή. Θα μπορούσα εδώ πέρα να κάνω εκτέλεση έρευνα σε βάθος, το οποίο θα μου έφερνε το καλύτερο δυνατό αποτέλεσμα. Γι' αυτό το βίντεο δεν θα το κάνουμε έτσι και ας μας φέρει και λίγο χειρότερο αποτέλεσμα. Βλέπουμε ότι κάνει μια εκτενής ανάλυση για το πού υπάρχουν κάστρα, για πού είναι οι στέγες, ψάχνει μέσα στη φωτογραφία για να βρει κάθε πιθανή λεπτομέρεια. Βλέπει, ας πούμε, ένα κομμάτι της φωτογραφίας που θα μπορούσε να το βοηθήσει. Τελικά η απάντηση είναι απίστευτη. Όχι μόνο κατάλαβε ότι αυτό είναι το κάστρο της Καβάλας και η παλιά πόλη και το λιμάνι φαίνονται προδεξιά, κατάλαβε και πού ακριβώς βρίσκομαι και πραγματικά βρίσκομαι πίσω από αυτές τις οδούς που λέει, και το γεωγραφικό πλάτος και μήκος είναι πάρα πολύ κοντινό στο πραγματικό. Είναι απίστευτο αυτό που μπορεί να κάνει η τεχνητή νοημοσύνη και πρέπει να είμαστε πολύ προσεκτικοί με αυτήν.
we have amassed 12 billion of these emotion data points. It's the largest emotion database in the world. We've collected it from 2.9 million face videos, people who have agreed to share their emotions with us, and from 75 countries around the world. It's growing every day. It blows my mind away that we can now quantify something as personal as our emotions, and we can do it at this scale. But perhaps what surprised us the most about this data is that we happen to be expressive all the time, even when we're sitting in front of our devices alone. What if your wristwatch tracked your mood, or your car sensed that you're tired? Or perhaps your fridge knows that you're stressed, so it auto-locks to prevent you from binge eating. I would like that, yeah. So the best way to demonstrate how this technology works is to try a live demo. Over the past 5 years, we've moved from being a research project at MIT to a company, where my team has worked really hard to make this technology work, as we like to say, in the wild. We've also shrunk it so that the core emotion engine works on any mobile device with a camera, like this iPad. So let's give this a try. As you can see, the algorithm has essentially found Chloe's face, so it's this white bounding box, and it's tracking the main feature points on her face. So her eyebrows, her eyes, her mouth, and her nose. The question is, can it recognize her expression? So we're going to test the machine. So first of all, give me your poker face. Yep, awesome. And then as she smiles, this is a genuine smile, it's great. So you can see the green bar go up as she smiles. Now that was a big smile. Can you try like a subtle smile to see if the computer can recognize? It does recognize subtle smiles as well. We've worked really hard to make that happen. And then eyebrow raise, indicator of surprise. Brow furrow, which is an indicator of confusion. Frown, yes, perfect. So these are all the different action units. There's many more of them. This is just a slimmed down demo. So I want those devices that have separated us to bring us back together. And by humanizing technology, we have this golden opportunity to reimagine how we connect with machines, and therefore, how we, as human beings, connect with one another. Thank you.
Years from now, we'll have nanobots, because another exponential trend is the shrinking of technology. They'll go into our brain, through the capillaries, and basically connect our neocortex to a synthetic neocortex in the cloud, providing extension of our neocortex. Thinking then will be a hybrid of biological and non-biological thinking. And so over the next few decades, we're going to do it again. We're going to again expand our neocortex, only this time it won't be limited by a fixed architecture of enclosure.
if we can effectively merge with AI by improving that the neural link between your cortex and your digital extension of yourself, which already, like I said, already exists, just has a bandwidth issue, and then effectively you become an AI human symbiote, and if that then is widespread with anyone who wants it can have it, then we solve the control problem as well. We don't have to worry about some sort of evil dictator AI, because kind of we are the AI collectively. That seems like the best outcome I can think of. DeepMind operates as a semi-independent subsidiary of Google. The thing that makes DeepMind unique is that DeepMind is absolutely focused on creating digital superintelligence, an AI that is vastly smarter than any human on Earth and ultimately smarter than all humans on Earth combined. DeepMind's AI has administrator-level access to Google's servers to optimize energy usage at the data centers. However, this could be an unintentional Trojan horse. DeepMind has to have complete control of the data centers, so with a little software update, that AI could take complete control of the whole Google system, which means they can do anything. They can look at all your data, they can do anything. AI doesn't have to be evil to destroy humanity. If AI has a goal and humanity just happens to be in the way, it will destroy humanity as a matter of course, without even thinking about it, no hard feelings. It's just like if we're building a road and an anthill happens to be in the way, we don't hate ants, we're just building a road, and so goodbye anthill. I think digital superintelligence will happen in my lifetime, 100%. I think it's incredibly important that AI not be other, it must be us. And I could be wrong about what I'm saying. I'm certainly open to ideas if anybody can suggest a path that's better. But I think we're really going to have to either merge with AI or be left behind. So as the old maxim says, like, if you can't beat them, join them. The least scary future I can think of is one where we have at least democratized AI. Because if one company or small group of people manages to develop godlike digital superintelligence, they could take over the world. At least when there's an evil dictator, that human is going to die. But for an AI, there would be no death. It would live forever. And then you'd have an immortal dictator from which we can never escape.
This is the world that you know. The world as it was at the end of the 20th century. It exists now only as part of a neural interactive simulation that we call the Matrix. You've been living in a dream world, Neo. This is the world as it exists today. At some point in the early 21st century, all of mankind was united in celebration. We marveled at our own magnificence as we gave birth to AI.
AI? You mean artificial intelligence?
A singular consciousness that spawned an entire race of machines. We don't know who struck first, us or them.